Yo, what's good? So, y'all already know the vibe. This is RealRackMarket education. You know, I could come more formal, and we are going to come more formal one day in the future. However, just understand right now what we doing. We going to make it a chill setting for each and every individual that does not know a lot. Because at the end of the day, if I sit here and sit in front of this big office, big old whiteboard, big old presentation screen, and be doing all this extra, might not receive to you the way that you actually need to get it. So, allow me to get comfortable. Y'all know the vibes. We gonna be diving right back into RIVN. RIVN is a very, very good company to still be looking at. I'm gonna pull it up on my own screen when my, when my stuff decides to act a little bit better for me. I'm gonna pull it up on my own screen. However, right now, you know how technology can be. You have the technical difficulties. And stuff want to be funny when you need it. Y'all know I talk about that a lot. Boom. All right. We just gonna start it from a fresh view. All right. So I should have got that set up now. Good. I'm fresh in the crib. Probably gonna end up leaving out again in a few. However, I wanted to give y'all some good information real quick, and I thought of some different ways that we could really work trampoline into your education plan, your free education plan right here on YouTube, right? So let's do it. Let's do it. Let me pull up my trading view. I'm gonna type in RIVN. Boom. Y'all know normally I talk a whole bunch before the video, but I'm actually trying to, keep everything organized. I have plenty of different forms of content to talk to y'all about all types of stuff. So I'm trying to keep this very center focused. If it seems like it, I'm gonna let you know that right now. That's why, I'm just trying to get y'all all the information that y'all need currently about this right here. Cause this is where the sauce is at, right? This is where the sauce is at. Let me pull up RIVN. And then once I pull that up, I don't know. Should I do news first or should I get straight into the charts? Should I do news first or should I get straight into the charts? I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this little news first. Read y'all out a couple things, let y'all hear something. I think I told y'all a couple things that was going on with them anyway, as far as how many EVs they've been producing, the different partnerships that they've been getting into, like with Amazon, Volkswagen. They have heavy investors. You get what I'm saying? People believe in RIVN, which is Rivian Automotive. Okay, they believe in Rivian. So, with that being said, analysts right now, they're sort of in between on prices. They don't really know whether they believe prices are gonna go up or down. Some people really think that it's gonna go down for a little while. They think, certain things like the tariffs are gonna start to affect, the production. However, one thing to keep in mind is that Rivian's production is more so based in the United States anyway. So that's good. Although they do have partners that, probably function outside of the United States, they still can keep it very local, basically. They definitely reached all of their goals that they were trying to have during the time when I was telling y'all about some of the things that they wanted to accomplish. They reached their goals as far as being in profit, good gross revenue. They're not worried about, what they're bringing in right now. They're actually trying to put more money out to be able to build bigger, because you have to invest into things in order to make the money. You can't just do it one time and think, okay, now this whatever $10,000 investment, or for them, you know, they have people that's investing millions. So this $1 million investment can carry you up to 10 mil maybe within the first 2 years of your business, correct? However, after that, even in between that, you should still be investing plenty of money to be able to, you know, keep building onto the 10 mil that really was already accumulated. Because really then it probably would have been more, you know, because you've already been in the process of reinvesting. And reinvesting is very important. So, you know, they've definitely reached their goals. They've been doing great. They've been making it happen as far as all the things that they want to do with their money. Let's see. What other things do I think that I want to sort of cover? I could cover like the inner details about like their cars and stuff, but personally, I feel like that's something that you can look into on your own if you want to purchase the car. I'm not really trying to sell you the car. I just know the information for myself, and I think it's good for you to know as well. Like, they do have different, they have a lot of different features that's pretty cool coming into their business, and how they operate and construct their vehicles. It's very interesting because, for instance, let's see, they use an infrared camera in the rearview mirror to make sure you're paying attention. That's good. Fully integrated with 11 cameras and 5 radars for a complete 360-degree view. You know, that's interesting as well. The computer module moves at over 200 trillion operations per second. That's dope. They, you know, they got three driving modes. Which ones are those? Those are sport, rally, and soft sand. Which is interesting because most cars, you know, when you switch gears, you know, you don't have that many options. Most only have sport mode. So once you get up into some of these different things that they have as well, it's pretty interesting. You know, you can take these vehicles probably off-road at some point. I'm assuming that's how they're trying to, you know, make things work. That's pretty cool. So again, I'm not here to sell you the car because that's not really my business. I just want to let you know that they are doing the things that they wanted to do as far as bringing in the revenue and bringing in good business and shipping to their customers the right way, taking care of their customers and their clientele, and just making sure everybody is good. Investors as well. So while we speaking on investors as well, let's talk a little bit now about these charts, right? So this gives me a good opportunity. Gives me a great opportunity actually to break down. Hold on, let me get y'all right. Let me pull y'all up. Boom, we good. Boom, we good. So this hold on, let me make sure we good over here too. Yep, we good. All right, bet. So this gives us a good opportunity now to look at trampoline. Y'all normally don't get to see this much, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of this I'm gonna have, don't even worry about that. However, we're gonna you're gonna see a portion of the screen, which is enough of what you need to see. That's basically how I'm gonna break it down. All the other things outside of that, don't worry about it. You know, I'm gonna let you know what we looking at. You know, I'll make sure I keep it in a clear view for you so you don't get confused, because I am going to be switching screens and doing different things, and, you know, just follow along, right? So with that being said, when was the last video, y'all? Matter of fact, let me look. Ooh, yes, I would like a coffee. When was the last video? I'm about to pull that up in just a second. In just a second. Oh shoot. That's not what I meant to do. Alright. Y'all know the vibes, man. I hope y'all been having a good day, man. Just gonna go and throw that in the. Just gonna go and throw that in the. Hope y'all been having a good and blessed day. Is this RealRackMarket education? Yes, it is. Let's go view my channel. Where is it at? No way, I don't have a playlist for it. Well, after today, it's gonna be a playlist for it. I should make the playlist right now, but I ain't gonna make the playlist right now because if I do that, it's gonna take too much time. 4 months ago. All right, 4 months ago, I'm just going to assume right now it's in March, so we just gonna say around December. All right, so we just gonna look around December time. Y'all know when I called it out, and I sort of know around the time as well because I was talking about it probably around that $11, $12 range the first time, which is coincidentally where it's at again right now. However, subscribe to the YouTube, y'all know the vibes. RealRackMarket. Boom. We're gonna start with the trend lines. So look, I'm gonna put a trend line right here, and I'm gonna explain in a minute that. Actually, I'll explain right now, matter of fact. So the reason why I'm drawing these trend lines the way that I am is because based off another strategy that I use, I sort of right now can guess where the actual transition point of the market is. You get what I'm saying? And right now, don't worry about the colors of the trend lines. Don't worry about the colors. The colors don't mean nothing. Sometimes I just don't change the colors back. So right now, as you can obviously see, I'm just putting it out there for you as we start this thing out. We have a Fibonacci that's been drawn back. Hold on, let me show you. Where we started our Fibonacci, boom. January 4th, 24. Oh no, not 24th, my bad, y'all. 2024. I'm a little tired still. Y'all can probably tell by my voice a little bit too, right? So boom. That's the beginning point of where we started our Fibonacci. The bottom price, 821. Let's spread that out just a little bit more. All right, boom. Just to give it some room. All right, so we're gonna break this down just a little bit. I'm gonna show y'all how to look at trampoline. Because this is the strategy that I am gonna put on YouTube. Like I said before, at first I said I wasn't gonna trade with it. I be changing my mind sometimes because I realize the benefits. And you know, you gotta weigh the pros and cons into stuff and make sure that everything makes sense when you're doing it. You know, in every decision that you're gonna make, you know, that's for you as well. Don't do things without thinking it through in different ways and look at it from different perspectives, because you might only be looking at it one way and then something might change the way that you see it a little bit, and now you can look at it from a different perspective that benefits both ways versus you weren't seeing it that way. You were seeing it more one-sided. So just a little tip for you. However, we're gonna break this down. So right now, as you can see, this is a major MA that I'm circling around right now. I'm gonna show you just in case you don't know what I'm looking at. Boom. Where you see this red line, right? That's a major MA that I use. As far as the time periods and getting into details with trampoline, I will not be getting into details with the with the strategy itself. And the reason why that much I will keep limited is for the ones that, as you continue to learn with me, because we're all still gonna learn together at the end of the day. You know, even while I'm looking at some of this stuff, I might be seeing something new. So, you know, we're all learning together. While you're learning with me, given that you might feel like, okay, this is a strategy that I actually like and I do want to learn it, and I'm already learning it on YouTube, let me just go ahead and
figure out a way that I can actually know the details about this strategy. And then we can definitely get into that, and I can help you, and you'll already sort of have a head start, if you will, in what you're doing, because you've been and already followed me on this, and then it's like, okay, well, now I can go ahead and use this same strategy that I'm sort of already accustomed to. And even if we work to build you something else on the flip side, so it's something that you look at from your perspective, it can benefit you. You know, remember what I always say, it's good to have multiple confirmations, right? So boom, this is the major MA that we looking at. So whenever it crosses or comes around this moving average, that's what an MA is, a moving average. Moving average, for the ones that might not know, just basic in simple terms, I'm going to describe things in my own way. So if you look up definitions, it might not say the same definition that I'm going to say. You get what I'm saying? So I'm describing things in my own way, how I look at markets, right? Moving average is basically just telling you, based off the time span that you choose to adjust your moving average to, which are some of those finer details that I was saying I'm not going to describe, right? Based off of that, that moving average is going to show you the average price along that span of time that you want to look at the market for with that moving average, right? So just look at it as something like a trailer, something that's trailing, and it gives you good intuition on where the market is currently, right? And you can use these in different ways, in multiple ways. Don't limit yourself. Don't just think. That's why I always say change your perspective with stuff. Don't just think one way. It's multiple ways you can do stuff, right? So you got this moving average right here, right? So boom, we got another moving average. Let me go in a little closer. I'm gonna zoom in for y'all, because y'all probably can't really see some of these lines, or some of it is probably a little bit confusing for y'all. Y'all probably like, bro, you're tripping. But I promise you, I'm not. So look, you got this purple line right here. I'm pointing with my hand like y'all can see that, but it's this purple line right here, right? If you can't see it, I'm gonna do you just like I did just a minute ago. Boom. And I'm gonna delete this one for the moment. Hold on, let me get hold of you. Yeah. Y'all see this purple line? Ignore the red one that's in the middle. This purple line, that is the closest moving average that we have following after the market. It's basically right on top of the prices. As you can see, we use candlesticks. I don't understand. I think it's good to learn how to read the market with line graphs as well, to really see more of the fine print, as I would say, into the market. However, candlesticks really give that elevation to traders and investors, because it really allows you to see the ranges that the market has been moving, whether that day, that week, that month, that year, whatever. You get what I'm saying? It gives you the opportunity to see that in real time, versus a line graph is just gonna show you where the price is closed at, probably according to how you adjust it. But most line graphs that you look at, according to investing in all this stock stuff, it's gonna show you where the price is closed at. So it's gonna look like straight lines, up and down, up and down. That's how you gonna see that right there, right? So the candlesticks give you just a little bit more detail, basically. This purple one we got following the most, right? Boom. So now ignore this purple one. Don't worry about it. I'm just running through it real quick. Then we got this yellow one right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this yellow one and this little light blue one right here that you sort of see. Both of these right here. All right. So look, you got the yellow one. That's the next one that comes with your package, right? This is called trampoline. So I'm gonna explain it as soon as you understand what you need to be looking at. This yellow one, this is the next one that follows after the purple one, which is your next trailer, right? So boom, then pay attention to this light blue one. This is another one that is sort of close to the yellow, however, not all the way on the yellow, just enough to be able to spread that bar just a little bit more, right? So that you can see more of an opening. So boom, you pay attention to those, and then you got this last one right here, this red one. Hold on, let me show you. Oh shit, what'd I do? Oh shit, hold on, my bad. My bad. Then you got this red one. I clicked that by accident. Boom. So then, again, don't pay attention to the purple one that's right here. Pay attention to this red one. So then you got this red one, and that is that's basically your trampoline right there. You get what I'm saying? That's your trampoline. So this red line is going to let you know whether the prices are bouncing below the trampoline or above the trampoline, right? And as we go through the market and we dive into deeper into this company and other companies, you're gonna be able to witness it in real time, exactly what I mean by how it bounces. So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, right? Now this is the day time frame that we're looking at. Okay, this is the day time frame. I probably already put it up somewhere just for you to know. However, this is the day time frame that we're looking at. Now, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna show you just a little bit more in depth so that you can see the transitions that I be talking about, right? So we're gonna mark it off. Before we do that, we're gonna mark it off just at the beginning of December, because that was around the time that I made the video, and that's probably around the time that the prices was anyway. When we look at 12. So that's around probably what I said anyway. Y'all can go back and look in the first episode. Y'all know the vibes. Everything documented. Ain't nothing to it. Y'all can just go look at the stuff. We're gonna take that right there. We're gonna make sure that we can see from December. And now what we're gonna do, we just gonna go back for a little minute. We just gonna see how trampoline works just a little bit, right? So I want to see if I can. I'm probably just gonna keep using the circles just to help y'all out. I could probably use some of these little tools over here, but I'm not really sure which ones. I'll have to look at those another day. I ain't really even into all those for real, because that stuff don't really serve me for real until now. Boom. So we just gonna go back. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. So as you can see, this is where we at right now currently. All right, I'm gonna show you where we at currently. Boom, that's where we at currently. I'm gonna mark it off for you too. Just for a little second, I'm gonna let you see it. You see where the prices are. Post price $12.21. I'm assuming the same price, $12.21, or it was $12.20. Either way, you can see the prices, right? So boom, you see this major MA that it just crossed under right here? Yeah. Now, what you have to also understand, I'm just gonna get into something real quick, and every video gonna have different things inside of it, so it's really gonna be like a break this whole thing down type thing, and it might actually go into extra episodes sometimes, for real, if I'm just being honest with you. However, you got in the market something called pullbacks, and these pullbacks happen at different levels and different strengths. So you have a pullback that can happen on every time frame, because regardless of whatever chart you're looking at, whatever time frame, whatever, every chart has the pattern to go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, you have pullbacks in every area, because there are some times where things are stronger than others. For instance, let me just give a quick example that might be able to open up just a little bit of what I'm saying. you have news, right, about a company, say Rivian tomorrow. Let's say Rivian is like, hey, we have a blowout sale coming, and we also about to ship to 20 different states for half off. And they just throwing different things out in the water to bring major clientele. They busting prices out, right? Say they're throwing ads everywhere. They got ads with all types of different celebrities talking about their car, doing different things with their car. So in that moment, right, within that time span, whether it's a week, 2 weeks, or 6 months, that they're running this campaign, a good campaign to be able to bring traction to their company, given that it's doing and reaping the benefits that they expected from it, that company will see a spike within that time frame in the market, and you'll be able to see the moments where people are buying and currently selling, but buying and currently selling, and the current sellers have they have their different reasons. You know, you can, and we can break that down into many different ways and talk about that as well. One day, that might be some things that we need to dive into. However, people sell for different reasons when companies are going higher. Like, a company could be very bullish, meaning right now they are the perfect buy opportunity. You should be in them, waiting for the company to reap what you know is going to happen in that market, because you can see it unfolding. You get what I'm saying? Before time really even shows you, because that's the craziest part. Before time even shows you what's really going on in the market, you get to see it. Literally, I hope that makes sense. Before time really shows you what's going on, you get to see it in the market. If I didn't say that right the first time, then I hope I said it right the second time. You get what I'm saying? Well, I said it right the second time. Real talk. You get to be able to see things unfold. For instance, Tesla. If you were paying attention to Tesla's market, you would have been able to know that something was about to happen within their company. You don't know what. It's not about knowing what. And sometimes it's not news. Sometimes it's not bad events. Sometimes it's just the market. However, regardless, patterns will repeat, just like habits will be repetitive until they are broken. Those are called breakout moments. They happen in the market, right? So moving into that, that's what we're talking about with this moving average, right? This major MA that I got circled. This moving average is one of those breakout moments that we talk about in markets, that when you see it happen, it's time for you to at least pay attention, right? Whether it's going to actually go through, it might go through and pull back. That's what I'm about to talk about with this. I personally think right now with this one is about to pull right back, because I also know what Rivian is capable of, especially with all of the market data that goes into them. See, we're not really diving fully into all the different things and ways that I will look into the market. This is just trampoline, and I'm trying to give you details and just a little intel into the market so that you can understand why I sort of say and emphasize some of the things that I say, right? So, boom, pay attention. Let's just go back a little bit. Let's look at this whole December span. As you can see, it crossed through, and when it crossed through, what did it do? It rose up into that green like I had told y'all I was going to do. It rose up into that green all the way up into $16.61. That's great. That's great, right? That was a price target that some analysts didn't even believe that it was going to make. We knew over at RealRackMarket that it was going to make that movement. You understand what I'm saying? Boom, right after that, of course, things happen. You understand? This is why I always tell you to play your cards right, know how to move in the market. You know when to buy, know when to sell, know when to hold, know when to wait. know when to move and position this, know when to purchase this load or purchase that load, or get this credit or not get this credit. You get what I'm saying? Am I gonna go into detail with that? No, I will not, because that's why I need you to lock in. You get what I'm saying? I need you to lock in. RealRackMarket.com. Go ahead, drop your email. Get locked in now, because this is the time. I don't know what you waiting on, bro. If you really want to understand the market, because a lot of y'all be telling me, "Oh, I want to learn the market. I want to understand this. I wish I knew more." Here's your more, right? And this ain't just market again, because you have to understand there's so many factors that go into all of this, y'all. It's not just one thing. You understand? So when you're listening to somebody, or when you're talking to somebody like myself, and they're giving you information, it should, in my personal opinion, it shouldn't be one-sided. They should be able to look at things from multiple point of views. You understand? So we gonna get into that another day. Boom, it dropped back down. You know the vibes. It ended up trying to cross back down around this area right here. Let's delete these circles for just a second. Let's delete these circles so y'all don't get confused. All right. Boom. It tried to cross down right around this area. As you can see, this whole little span of time, it was trying to go below that moving average, that major one. It had already fought its way above it. Green bean all the way up, right? But then it tried to stay right there. It tried to hold position and go below, but it held strong, and it went back up. Tried to bust back through the green. Did it? No, it did not, right? And now, this is what I need y'all to pay attention to. Let's watch this trampoline for a second. Let's go back. Pay attention to the trampoline. As you can see, we're gonna look back about right here. You see this purple one? Boom, shot up above the red, correct? Boom, what happened next? This yellow one shot up next, correct? Let's go. Oh, shoot. My bad. I'm gonna have to black that out. Y'all can't see my strats. All right, look. Boom. Let me zoom in for you, because this is what I was trying to do in the first place. I guess I was moving my fingers too fast. Got ahead of it. Look, this is what I need y'all to pay attention to. This is prime trampoline moment, okay? This is a prime trampoline moment for you to see exactly what I'm saying. And did I know it was gonna unfold exactly like this for December when I made this video, for me to be able to talk about it like this right now? No, I did not. You get what I'm saying? But that's the great part of learning this stuff in trading, y'all, because you get to watch all of this stuff unfold, and things that you see before you even see it, you see it. It's crazy, right? So look, boom. You already got a circle up? Yes, I do. We got the first one. Boom. That's when the purple crossed up. When above that red, boom, you see the yellow followed suit, just like I told y'all. You see the yellow follow suit. Boom. What happened next? Right after that yellow follow suit, boom, Mr. Light Blue coming through. You already know how it is. And then what was it trying to do during that moment? It was trying to stall in the market. Do y'all see that? Hold on, I'm gonna show you. Do y'all see that? It tried to stall in the market, just like that. Y'all see that? That's called consolidation. These are moments of consolidation. The market has all types of different moments of consolidation. You get what I'm saying? Some be rapid, some be swift, some be crazy volatile in all types of ways and look wild, and they go different ranges. You get what I'm saying? However, there's a moment of consolidation in the market, right? Boom. That's what it was trying to do around the time when that light blue went up, right? It broke out of that point, as it should, as we knew it would. You get what I'm saying? And what did it do? It touched up in that green, but it tried to retrace that very first day that it went into the green. It didn't really want to touch over that zone. Remember, these Fibonacci's are important. These zones, when you're trying to see inner percentages of how that trend is moving, meaning whether that trend is gaining back 50% of what it just lost, or whether it's going to lose 20% of what it just gained. You get what I'm saying? When you're trying to see those inner details of the market, you have to pay attention to your Fibonacci retracements. You get what I'm saying? It fought the zone before it went up into it. Once it finally broke through, what did it do? It tried to drop down again. You get what I'm saying? Then it dropped. It went right back into some more. It went right back into some more consolidation right here. Now, let's see if we can look at the trampoline a little bit more. Hold on. Let me make sure we good. We good. Say less. I just gotta make sure we good. So look, prime trampoline. It floated it. It floated. Look, you see your major MA right here. I know it gets a little bit confusing. But look, I'm gonna show you where it's running around at. You see that? This is your major MA right here. Hold on, I'm gonna type it for you. Boom. That's your major MA right there. And this is the 4-hour time frame. We ain't even broke it down all the way into the one. I'm gonna show y'all how this all works all the way down through. Boom. So it goes up, boom. I told y'all, boom. This whole time, what do y'all pay attention to? All right, trampoline. The reason why I called it this strategy is not just because of the red line, right? That's the first thing I said in the beginning of the video. Somebody could have took the beginning of this video, ran with it, and been like, oh, he said the red line, this ain't nothing. Look, listen to me. Trampoline, all of those little bands that you see are really moments where it can bounce at. You get what I'm saying? Those are moments where it's bouncing. You feel me? Look, if you don't believe me, just pay attention and look at the prices, because don't just pay attention to the moving averages. I don't want you to get caught up in moving averages. It's just right now I'm trying to explain to you how they work with this strategy. However, you should be more focused on the prices. I sort of recommend most people learn how to look at the markets in a naked form, meaning nothing, blank, completely solo first, before they try to learn the market the way that somebody would teach it with a strategy. You get what I'm saying? You can learn it both ways, don't get me twisted, and it's healthy to learn both ways, either way it go. You know what I'm saying? So however you use your process or take your process is up to you. It's just, you should and definitely need to still know, even if you learn with a strategy or start with strategies first, you still need to take the time to educate yourself how to look at the market bear. I'm just not gonna go over the market bear personally too much, probably not ever for real, because then I would have to still show y'all other forms of what I also do to be able to, you know, come to those conclusions off looking at it naked. And that's just not something that we're gonna get too deep into over here, because then we will have super long videos, and bro, as you can already see, it's gonna go as it go. You feel me? We done got into a comfortable position where we moving and grooving with this. With this, and you know, we just rolling with it, right? So back to it, back to it. As you can see, like I said, pay attention. All of these little moving averages are bouncy spots. Your purple one is your closest trailer. It's the closest one to your price. So that's basically like your price. However, just pay attention to the price, right, as well. But you can also pay attention to the purple moving average. Boom. As you see right here, when it went up above, prices closed above, Mr. Red jumped up, tried to close above the moving average. It was fighting it. That was another reason for consolidation right here. It didn't want to go back above this moving average, this major one. It was trying to fight that little spot, right? However, as you also see, prices was staying in between Mr. Yellow while he was going up as well. Am I lying? No. You can see it. It didn't touch below that blue. It was fighting the blue even. Boom. As it fought the blue, it jumped right back up above all those prices, and it was able to withstand that bear resistance, and it fought through with the rest of the bulls. You get what I'm saying? So boom, as it jumped up, it bounced off that trampoline and went higher. Boom. As it was floating, it was up in the air, but as we all know, if you jumping on the trampoline, don't you have to come back down? Yes. So it came back down for a little moment. Boom, tried to drop through this little Mr. Yellow. You know, that's the first little spot. You feel me? That's first layer. He ain't even really do it for real. He tried to drop through the first little spot, still couldn't do it. He even tried to touch down on Mr. Blue, and Mr. Blue still pushed him off of him. You get what I'm saying? I'm sort of dropping it down. I'm sort of explaining it like this, I should say, because I want you to simplify this. I don't want you to look at this where it's like, oh, I have to remember all these different numbers of what I put in for even your own details of your own strategy. Because if you do that to yourself and you thinking too hard on it and you don't simplify even your own strategies, you'll start to cook your brain while you sitting here looking at your computer, even for 2 hours, if you could even last that long once you really start. You get what I'm saying? But once you get to a point of where you educating yourself and researching your own markets and your own portfolio and doing what you need to do, you get what I'm saying? And you locked in for 6, 8, 10, 12 hours on your computer, you get what I'm saying? Straight locked in. You do not want to be trying to cook your own brain because you got to keep thinking about did I do this part right, or is this how I'm supposed to look at this, or because you overcomplicating your own strategy. So make it simple. You feel me? Make it very simple. Boom. As you can see, let's get back into it. This little moment of consolidation was when it really tried to go below its bottom zone of its trampoline, right? When it tried to go through the bottom zone of its trampoline, we gonna call this boom. We gonna say when it go for education purposes with this strategy in itself, we're going to, and on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Let me disclaimer that as well. On YouTube, we're going to say when the prices, meaning the candlesticks, when they go in between the yellow and the blue, in between the yellow and the blue, that's layer 1. When it goes in between the blue and the red, in between the blue and the red, that's layer 2. I think I just said layer 1, layer 2. If I said layer 2, forgive me. I feel like I did low key. I might just be tripping. I told y'all I'm tired. And if it goes below the red, it is below its trampoline zone. You get what I'm saying? That's what we're gonna say. So we got layer 1, layer 2, below its trampoline zone. You get what I'm saying? Which below its trampoline zone or above its trampoline zone, which is vice versa. That just means that is a possible moment of transition. So with that being said, as you can see, watch them prices, y'all. Just watch the prices. You see how the price is floating it. Boom, drops through, boom, and then it drops through, and then it consolidates because it really didn't want to drop. It didn't want to drop all the way through like that. As you can see, prices faulted. You know, the investors, whatever the case is, you know, there's different, and I mean different factors that move these markets. So, you know, it was moving how it was moving, and as you can see, even though it still tried to do it, it didn't really do it. And watch these. You see how yellow did not go below, light blue didn't go below. So it never was really confirmed. It still has some push in it. And that push held strong to get you up to that $16 where we said it was gonna touch, right? And then finally, as we, you know, zoom forward just a little bit, you can see where the prices, you know, is doing what it do. Watch how it goes through trampoline sometimes. Sometimes it's shooting straight through. You know how you get them leaps on the trampoline. You know what it is. You'll go real high. Boom. Go real low. Boom. Jump real high. Boom. Jump real low. You know what it is. Sometimes it's just moving. just like you could. Sometimes you gotta catch your balance and do what you do. You know what I mean? As you can see, it dropped through. And then that's when what? As you really see right here is when the yellow, let's get rid of this real quick. You can see right here, hold on. Boom. Because we see where the purple. If you don't see where the purple is, I'm going to show you where the purple is too. Purple drop below, boom, about like right there. You get what I'm saying? And then what we see is the blue came through right there. And when it came through, what did it do? It started trying to touch back down to the red. That thing went all the way back to $11, y'all. Proof in the pudding, you know what I mean? Like I said, don't overcomplicate things. Just find a way to look at stuff and make it simple for yourself. You feel me? Boom. As you following that, look, prices drop down. They tried to go back up. Didn't. Came right back down, stayed through, faltered a little bit. You know what it is. This right here is really a whole moment of consolidation. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Broke through. Look, and this is what I mean by, this is a good example, and then I think, let me make sure we good. Yeah, it's a good example, and then we ain't gonna get into the other time frames right now. We gonna go ahead and end this out, right? Because this is already long enough. But there's a good example of what I mean by pullback, and I'm gonna mark this off real quick so that y'all can see exactly what I mean. I'm gonna mark these in red so that y'all can see it real quick. I really should have marked it in something else real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna mark it in purple so it can stand out, because y'all might get confused seeing all that red. So look, this is what I mean by a pullback moment. You see, right here in this moment, and as you can also follow along with the trend line, it was going down. Feel me? Prices was dropping. Feel me? The bears was in control at the moment. They had the current trend. They was running with it. And then what did the bulls try to do? They tried to fight back. And they did, but was it a full-on successful fight where they actually won and they took over? No, because then what did it do? It dropped right back down again, because that was just a strong pullback moment. And then when it dropped back through, it, as you can see, it went all the way into the red. This is when it was $10. $10. Deep in the red, and we just now coming back out of the red. And as you can see, the trampoline is about to form itself, given that it does what it needs to, and they also hold on and keep pushing their business forward the way that they're supposed to. All things work in one, you know what I mean? All these things are going to create something, you know, whether it's a good outcome or a bad outcome, you know, in simple terms. However, let's look at this for a second. After we just broke all that down, let's just look at it for a second. Let's go back to the day. Let's just go back to the day. As you can see, this is where we at right now. It's about to go back up. You feel me? You can watch the trampoline. It's below its trampoline zone, so that means the bears that already took over, they really was already running stuff from around this area. Look at these consolidation moments. Look how all this stuff matches up. It shows you where things was a little bit funny and where trends actually started, where trends were formed. You get what I'm saying? However, I gotta go. Y'all make sure y'all do what y'all make sure y'all do y'all part to educate yourself. Again, don't just take my advice. Make sure that you also, you know, look up things, search things, you know, research the things that even I'm saying, because I'm not always right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not always right. However, I do know what I know. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all make sure that y'all do what y'all need to do. I ain't gotta tell y'all like, comment, subscribe. I still told y'all anyway. Comment, let me know your opinions. Talk to me. You feel me? If something didn't make sense, talk to me. We can go over stuff. This is a safe place to talk. We're trying to educate people here. It ain't no funny business. Let's educate. If you can't see that, or if you don't want to grow within that, this might not be the community for you. However, we are here to educate. Y'all have a blessed day, man. Make sure you say your prayers. Talk to God today if you didn't. We out.